All right, and we are back. Welcome to the stream. I am Junchan, and today we are back at our Purescript work with chronofolds. So, just a reminder: on Tuesdays and Thursdays we do some work on Haskell, and on Saturday some work on streaming tools and some software design for some new ideas. But today, as well as Friday and next Monday, we work on implementing this chronofold data structure in Purescript. And we've made quite a lot of progress last time. We have implemented a first pass of the key algorithm, and we've also measured some baseline performance. And so right now we're in fact doing a small prototype before we sort of do another pass at the library itself. So let me check quickly what's up with the music, which sounds just a bit loud for me. And let's see. Ah, yes, of course. I know what's up. Okay, setting is definitely not perfect yet, but we'll get there. And is that where it's supposed to go? No. Okay, 7/8. Right. So 20 and what's 20 here? Right, so that's one way of doing it. Okay, so let's get into it. Some of the details of how I sketched the prototype on paper really fast was that, well, we wanted to use our Purescript chronofold library. We at first I thought, hey, why don't we read a file? But no, it won't work to read a file on disk, because then we need to save in order for the text to be read, and then we need to, how do we even create ops, since each operation is actually meant to be done on a keystroke, because every character entered is going to basically be an operation that needs to be applied locally to update our chronofold data structure, but also sent over the wire to other replicas. So that's a no. So I thought, hey, why don't we try a VS Code extension that will hook into each keystroke? And that turned out to be remarkably easy to do, thanks to, in fact, really pretty smart way to have done a programming environment for VS Code extensions in VS Code. And so let me show you this right now. So, okay, I don't have it open right now, so I need to do new window. And then it will be VS Code chronofold. It contains a workspace. Sure, open it. Right. That's probably indeed better. So let me reorient myself here. Right, we had the extension code, and it's requiring some modules from our Purescript chronofold library. And so that's really one of the magic, capabilities of Purescript, is that once it's compiled down to JavaScript, actually we can import it into any JavaScript environment. So that's one way of plugging into our Purescript library. We might have some trouble when we when we call functions or build data types from it, but or even inspect values. but you know, as I'm definitely willing to, you know, withstand a little bit of friction just for the fact that it's so simple, because we basically have it. So in fact, just a little bit more detail here, what I did was that I simply added, oh, that's new. I did npm link in the VS Code chronofold folder to our library, so that, you know, I don't even have to package Purescript chronofold yet. And apparently now npm link adds a file entry. Before it used to create a symlink. I think maybe it also creates a symlink. Let's see, Purescript. Yeah, Purescript chronofold is also there as a symlink. So I'm not sure. Could be that something else actually created that link. In any case, yeah, one of the things that we had to modify from the template that we started, VS Code actually extensions, there's a way to, where was it? Yeah, to bootstrap an empty extension through the scaffolding tool, Yo. So we did that, and we also modified the activation events, which basically allowed us to say that our extension will respond to any event that are happening inside the inside VS Code. And then what? Then I think what do we have to do? Okay, I forget now. Registers the command. Yeah, so it's probably in the first. Right, run the hello world command from the command palette. Right, so it is called hello world. No, that's not this. I need to. Oh yeah, there was a. Oh, inside the editor, press F5. This will compile and run the extension in a new extension development host window. Yeah, that's the neat bit. What is F5? Is it just compile or something? Run, start debugging. Okay. So there we go. We have a little thing, and I don't know how it does it, but it might. It's going to run the extension by there we go, creating a VS Code. Well, a new VS Code window that has our extension in it, such that, and now we have the debug console here. So it's now activating the extension. Okay, it seems like it failed to do something. Oh, A output. Okay, that sounds like it's wrong. So let's see what's up. I think I probably typed a typo somewhere. Yeah, right there. Okay, let's save and see whether it reloads automatically. That would be a little bit too much, I think. So that's fine. Let's go back to extension and restart. Perfect. We have a button for it. All right. So we basically, the way that we're linking to it is that we created a index.js file at the root, and it exports core, buffer, and types, which we then import here. We just import core and types. And that's directly linked to the output of the compilation of the Purescript. Okay, right. Congratulations, your extension chronofold is now active. So that's a message that displays on activate here. And so it means that now we have, so that we have a command there, but we're probably going to remove that. We don't need it. And then I found some bit of code that referenced, I think, an answer on Stack Overflow that referenced this method on the change text document that actually will send an event each time we press a key. So let's test it. I press A, and there we go. We have core displayed, and then the root of replica 1 is executed. So it calls root, and root is gotten from our library. And I'll explain what this function does. And then it calls the replica function, and it calls it with 1. And then runs the, sends that to the root function and logs it. And so in return, we get this object, which is like a typical way that Purescript objects are formatted. Makes me think about a bit of tooling that would be quite nice. Would be like a console log that's that knows how to display Purescript values. That would be quite a nice formatter to have. But I think we can figure things out. But it's, basically now if I type B, again, we're printing something. Or because basically we're able to call our library, which is the key aspect here. So that's really awesome. And now we can take a look at what I had planned to do next. So now, we've VS Code extension is hooking into each keystroke. We can say that that's done. We hooked the VS Code extension to Purescript kernel. That's also done. And now we would like each keystroke to become an op. So that's where things start getting a little bit more detailed in what we're going to ask Purescript kernel to do. So, okay, what are we going to use here? If we want to build, first of all, I need to rethink this a little bit. There's a question of, do we want to basically treat the library as a sort of as a pure pure functions and maintain our data structures inside the VS Code extension and then call out to Purescript kernel to create our initial data structure and then operate on it. That seems like that's probably what we want to do. So let's start with this assumption. I think we can actually comment this. I'm going to do that now. Okay, if I recover what my where am I with my okay, should be able to do this then. Oh yeah, okay, it's working. And so yeah, we comment this bit, so therefore we don't have a disposable anymore, so we don't need to subscribe to it. And let's reload just to make sure that we haven't broken anything before we proceed. Okay, this thing is telling me hello, and that's distracting me. Let's move back to, yeah, maybe FFI, that's nice. Okay, extension is active, and if I type A, we get the object. Okay, we're good. So I will want, I think, to have my chronofold, I think probably the tests is a good idea to open. And let's see. So this is what I was doing is I created a replica, which is, let's say us or the VS Code extension in this case, and I gave it an arbitrary number 1. So let's actually print that as well, just to make sure that we sort of get a sense of what Purescript gives back to us. And this is and root is basically is this function here. I don't even remember what it does. I think it's a really simple wrapper. Yeah, it's a very simple wrapper that creates an op from the replica, and that op is it's the root op. It's the root op from the paper. It's the one that's described by the empty set or the 0 character here. So that's the root op. And so usually in our test, what we would do is that we would say that our log, the beginning of our log, contains the completely empty log with the root roots in it, and that will be sort of like here what I call our log root or our alpha log root. So let's try and replicate that by, so now we have root alpha. So what we want to have, so, and we have alpha is replica 1, so we can actually also assign it the same name, and it will be us in this case, and we can hardwire that for a start. And then we will pass same alpha to empty log and to root, and pass the whole thing to append op, and that will give us an alpha log root. So let's try this. I'll copy this for reference. And what we're saying is we do const alpha equals replica 1. And you know what? I think I can. I'll troubleshoot, but with the code that we're writing now. So const. Well, in fact, alpha. Let's see if we can write the whole thing in one go. Well, yeah, I'm really not sure whether I can, and that'll be an interesting thing to try. So append root comes from the core module. Append op, I mean. And so would empty log. Yeah. Actually, I get a signature here. That's pretty cool. TypeScript is able to infer some kind of type signature. That's impressive. Right, and so now that's the question I was asking myself about whether I'd be able to write this, because I wasn't sure whether I needed to pass the two arguments, basically curried or uncurried, to append op, and it's uncurried, I think. That would be the name of it. I might be getting the terminology inverted, but yeah, basically I need to call the function sort of twice, or call it once and then call the result of that again. Okay, so we have root append dot empty log. Do we need anything else? We don't. So let's give it a shot. Append op, and then we do empty log of alpha, and then we call the result of that with root of alpha. And let's log this and see what we get. Whoopsie. So in truth, we probably want to execute this. Okay, I'll restart while I talk. We'll probably want to, we'll want to move this in the body so that when the extension activates, boom, it gets its empty alpha log root. And then when we get an on-change text document, then we'll probably filter the event to get the sense of where we're getting. And then based on that, we'll build an op and add it to the state of the VS extension. So and I get alpha log root, and it contains a fairly sophisticated thing in it, and because our log is actually fairly sophisticated, so it all makes sense. We get a circular value here. Not sure what's up with that. That's interesting. So I think in theory, if this is a log, then the first bit is our timestamp. So let's go and check out how our log type looks like, and that's in types, not in core. And op is here, and chronofold is here, and therefore log is sorry about that. Log is right here. So this is indeed timestamp, and timestamp is composed of two things, a replica and a int. Timestamp is right here, replica and a replica index. So this is timestamp, and this is replica number 1. That's what we created. We said alpha is replica 1, and then 1 is replica index. So that's all good. And then what? Then log has a chronofold, so, and that's an array, and in it we only have 0, which is exactly the character value of our root character. After that we have the next array, and the next array contains just indices. So here we have just as an object that doesn't print in this case. Okay. Let's see if there's some utility to print Purescript things in the console from JavaScript in a better way. Let's see first of all if it's described in this bit of the official Purescript documentation on the foreign function interface. This is very old, so let's turn to the internet. Purescript FFI console or pretty print, something like that. Purescript easy FFI, Python FFI. That's from the book. FFI from JS to. Okay, let's check out this discourse from last year. Let's see, blah. Okay, so sure. Oh, I suppose we could just export. We could just yeah, we could do a few things. The simplest would be to import like basically the log function from effect.console in. Actually, I think we can do this simply here. I could say, oh, what's going on here? Okay, boom. I could say, I could call it just log. And it would come from just console. I think I have it in the tests. What? I don't have log here. Maybe in browser. Oh, I'm not logging anymore. I guess I'm not logging anymore. Or I'm logging here. No, that's just a projection. Come on, in benchmark I must be logging, right? Right, effect.console. That's I think is where the log is. So we just export that function. So effect.console, and we'll just take log, which shows up. So now that means that I can get the log function here. Oh, well, I will need to recompile. Actually, it might, yeah, no, it already works because our PSCID is actually recompiling for us. Okay, so that's lovely. And so now it means that I should be able to just do log here. Except alpha log root is not a string, so I will need to do log show actually. So I need to import log show. And it thinks it's able to find it by itself. You know what? I don't believe it. That I'm not importing it. In fact, not only I'm not importing it in here, I'm also not exporting it in the index here. So how would you even get to it? I'm a bit impressed by the type of thing that the TypeScript is able to parse. Okay, so now log show alpha log root. Okay, so let's give that a shot. If that works, that's pretty sweet because yeah, we can print stuff in the way that we would expect them in Purescript. So it's going to be so much easier for debugging. Okay. Extension still activating. Well, it seems like it's actually active. Okay. Oof. That does nothing. So log show. Okay, well, we probably need to recompile Purescript kernel. So let's start with that. Spago build. And then I'll add a console log statement. I am doing log show. Oh. It's in effect. Therefore, I need to actually run it after I've... Yeah. That's what's going on. I need to pass it an argument, and then it's kind of a thunk, if you like. It's an unevaluated command. Yeah, it should work now, and it doesn't. So not that then. Okay, well, let's console log and give that a shot. Hey Juan, how you doing? Sorry, I didn't see you. How come? Did my because I did start chatty, but I didn't connect to the chat. Good to see you. Streamlabs can ignore pretzel messages. Right. Yeah, that is a good idea. Yeah, the chat screen. Yes, yeah. In fact, since I'm actually displaying them in the bottom overlay, then it makes a lot of sense. Let me try and see if I can configure that. That's the Streamlabs config. Chatter, hide common chat bot, muted chatter, and that would be pretzel rocks. And we say done, and then we hope it works. And nom nom nom. chug. Oh, nice. That sounds lovely. Yeah, I'm doing the debugs, and I'm hoping that this time I'll see at least some alpha log root. Yeah, doing good. Continuing on the prototyping path, and doing well. Actually, you know what? I'm thirsty. It's Pavlov, right? You show up, and then I'm thinking, hey, I need to drink something. Yeah, cable management. That's nice. Is everything nice and tidy behind your computer? And was that the computer cable management? Nice. Yeah, you can't do too much of it. Okay, so there's something weird going on here. Whoopsie. And it doesn't show anything in the logs anymore. So let's just see whether we're getting some alpha. And whether then we get lost in append up or something. Let's restart this. What's an SFF build? Small form factor PC. Cool. Yeah, I was thinking about that. How powered up is it? Oh, the pretzel filter seems to work. Right. That's cool. Oh, yeah, all right. Sub 10 liter case. Got it. Did you get some fancy cooling in there, or is it just a regular fan? Oh, is it? I want to hear about it. Like I actually, that's that's the next thing on my buy list. And now that I'm employed, it's really ooh nice, very nice. I didn't know RTX went up into the 3000s. So that's your Christmas present, is it? Nice. And then what is it? 500X? What is this? Oh, AMD Ryzen. How much RAM do you got? Okay, so it seems like we're back on track at least. At least if I comment out the log show here, then we're good. So there's something going on in there. Nice. Yeah, you know what? That looks like pretty much what I want to build. And is that what you've been playing BattleTech with? Because basically there's I actually bought Death Stranding because I really wanted to play it, and then I think basically I can't run it on my old CPU. Right. And so for that, and then there's more serious reasons, like I was trying to deploy the various machine learning stacks and like TensorFlow and some of the stuff like the NVIDIA Triton inference server and stuff to do like a multi-backend machine learning sort of setup. And I mean, I was basically, if I am to deploy it in my current computer, then I need to basically recompile all of the packages manually. And I mean, I've started doing it, but the better option, since there's a few reasons why my current CPU is blocking me, is to buy a proper PC, and then I can use my Mac as a Mac, and sort of maybe stream from the PC, but still have some stuff going on in the Mac and whatnot. Yeah, right, that's cool. Yeah, apparently there is a mod to keep my, like I have the old cheese grater Mac Pros, and those are awesome. But this one is from 2008, and it's still an 8-core CPU, like a Xeon, but it's old, and so it doesn't have like the modern instruction sets. And specifically, it doesn't have AVX2, which most of the machine learning things need these days. So anyway, some people have a mod where they, refurbish the inside of the cheese grater and put a new motherboard in it, but that's too much work, I think. And plus, this machine actually is really decent to do like multimedia stuff. Well, I can't even do CPU machine learning on it. My GPU is pretty good. I have Titan XP. GPU. Yeah, that's the aim. But despite that, most of the libraries actually, factor in some CPU code in it. And for the part that's CPU, driven, they require these modern instruction sets. Obviously 2008. I mean, machine learning was barely a thing then. So I understand that I'm quite laggy. And I'm able to pull it off for a number of things. Pretty surprising. I can get most stuff running, but there's a bit of there's too much cost to it, right? Like if I have to recompile all of the basically I have to recompile TensorFlow from the get-go. I mean, it's not that hard. I probably end up doing it maybe before I even buy a new PC, but yeah. And actually that's kind of something that I, now that you make me talk about it, I feel like putting it in my log as an unscheduled thing. Yes, exactly. A TDL was that? To-do list, yes. Okay. So that's actually my end goal is to have a Triton, the Triton inference server for various machine learning things. And some of the stuff that I'm interested in are speech to text and general NLP. And then some of the stuff that I've been starting to talk about on stream about like streaming tools, like they would be amazingly augmented if we were not just detecting frame, like drastic frame shifts between two screens, but that we were also able to detect and classify more interesting things happening on screen. So video inference is also one of the things that I was looking at. And there's this thing called GST inference that should be able to plug into various machine learning backends as well. And so all of that is pretty edgy and fun. Yeah. So maybe I'll schedule it for Saturday, then maybe before doing anything, like just do like a small YouTube video intro. Oh, split the log files. Ta-da! I did that. Amazing. And see, now I have sub log files for. This way I can actually copy paste this into the YouTube description rather than the whole log. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So YouTube intro video, and I'm actually going to copy what you just said. Oh, for what I'm doing today? No, I meant for for the channel. Like actually today I was looking at how do I put some channels here, because there's definitely some people that have been inspiring me to start doing this crazy thing of streaming. But no, I'm talking about like the video that goes here to present the channel. That's what I meant. So I just need to think a little bit more about it, but yeah, it's all good. And can you believe I couldn't find where to do a customized channel? So actually, I'll put that in the log. Add add channels, and mostly the master. Edward Met. Well, yeah, over time, exactly, for a certain definition of time, and cool. All right, so let's go back to Chronofolds, and so it looks like we can lock things, like basic things. We have an alpha log root, that's cool. We just can't lock show right now, and I'm not sure why. Also, I'm not sure why. Oh, maybe because debug console is actually not going to show. Oh, okay, I know what to do. In fact, I just need to call the show instance on alpha log root and then pass that to console log. Is that so? That's nice to say. I really appreciate it, one. Thank you. So how do I call the show instance from alpha log root? Well, yeah, that's an interesting question. Actually, I think I need to check out the generated JavaScript. Right. Yeah. I think that's why I sort of procrastinated for a year. I think I didn't have it in me to really implement a consistent practice, like be online all the time, like regularly. And yeah, it just felt like the right moment for some reason. Through a game, right? The game Peraspera gave me the little kick to just start, and then once that started, then it's easier to continue. All right, Chronofold, right? So it should be in types, probably, right? And we're talking about the log type. Here it is. And the log type has a create thingy in it. Sounds good. Oh, show timestamp. So that means there's a show log somewhere. Oh yeah, lovely. The fact that we gave our instances names in Purescript directly translate there. So, oh no, hold on. I think that's the is that the kind of directory new symbol is maybe not. Maybe it's just gonna work. Maybe no, I think it is just gonna work. I just need to do the little import export thing, and so actually I will have it in types, so we can let go of this, and we can say also give me show log, and then we'll show log of this, and we'll recompile. And I'll go grab myself some water. I'll be back. And we press A. Oh, well, not there. Here. Ooh. Yeah, that looks, well, no, that doesn't look like what I want. Hold on, what's happening there? Hey, welcome back. So alpha, oh, it just prints 1, I think, is what's going on. Is it? That's a little bit strange. Okay, let's comment this out and restart. Okay. No, it's printing nothing. So there's something I'm not quite getting yet with the show log, and actually there's a way that I could test this with a slightly faster feedback loop, which is to play inside here and do something like var log show equals require blah, and then log show. Well, first I suppose, well, let's get replica as well, and let's do replica 1. Action get consequences. Hey, yeah, that's good. I like it. I like it. You got to find all kind of ways to, you know, get yourself to, you know, do. I guess one way to say it is do what you have to do to get the most out of life, right? Yeah. What? I hope you say that with a very serious face, because that makes me laugh even more. No, you're not. Don't be foolish. Okay, what's up with that? Log show is not a function? Oh, okay. Really? I thought log show was a function. Ooh, yeah. So your arms are dead, is what you're trying to tell me. Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh right, it's not dot show, it's show log. Is that big? Is that what I did? Is that the problem? Yeah, I've been doing yoga every morning. Actually, I'm doing like a 30-day series, and so I've also been trying to have a streak, like in games, right? Or combo streak or something. Show log is not a function. Is that true? That's maybe it's not exported. I didn't even check. Var show log and module export and show log. No, it shouldn't be exported. That's cool. That's very cool. How long is your session? Because before I started doing this 30-day series, like I did like quite short session, like 15 seconds or seconds. Not as short as that, 15 minutes or 20 minutes. But now it's like more like 30, 35 minutes. That's pretty good. Okay, show log. It should be exported. A replica is exported. And it should be a function. What? It's not a function? Oh, maybe it's not a function. It seemed like it was, in fact, it was called, yeah. Huh. So it's just, oh, maybe I need to pass this to show. Yes, that's what it is. That's nice. Yeah, so do I, I really do. Like I can't run for, for my life, actually. That would be a proper way to say it. Yeah. Swimming is actually not the worst, but yeah, running, forget about it. Okay, right, so okay, where is show though? It's in the prelude, isn't it? Prelude. Oh, nice. Like, do you do like freediving? Oh, wow, awesome. I got my, what's it called? I forget. Just the first one, but I did get it. Prelude exports nothing. Okay, so where are the show instances and whatnot? Is that like a data show? Yeah, it is a data show. Okay, so data show exports show, which takes. Oh, it takes a show instance and then you can do dot show on it. Yeah, I think that's the key here. So let's do module dot exports dot show. Well, actually, yeah, show will require output data.show. And then it means that I should be able to do what? To do show of, well, in fact, show.show of show log dot show, which is a bit weird, but I think that's it. Right. So I need to do var show here, and then I can do this. Still not. Cannot set property show of undefined. Ah, okay. So you really do need to do the new show. Okay, I need to look at this again. Where does it export? It does export the big show and exports a small show as well. So maybe I can use the small show. What does it do? it takes the dict and it returns dict.show. Oh, what? So you mean that if I just did dict.show, then I would be fine? So hold on then. Then there's two ways to go about this. There's this, and there's show log.show of replica one, and both should output the same thing. Function dict. Oh yeah, not dot show. This, in fact, yes. Not dot show. So just replica one. I cannot read value 0 of undefined. Okay, let's just make sure that we're calling the right thing. We are, and so you are saying that this also won't work. Yeah, same error. So there's some wrapping and wrapping going on there. PADI is the International Diving Association, isn't it? First time I was diving was in Mexico, in Yucatan, near Cancun, and a bit lower in Tulum, in Playa del Carmen. So beautiful there. But I got my PADI in the Canary Islands. Okay. Nice. So does this mean you can be an instructor as well? Yeah, the other thing that I really want to do is, yeah, I imagine there is. The other thing I really want to do is go further in sailing. Right. I got a competent crew license, and yeah, it'd be awesome to be able to actually to have a skipper license. That would kind of make it up for the fact that I don't have a driver's license, which is kind of a weird thing, but I kind of get attached to it, not having a driver license. Okay. Oh, foreign. So yeah, it does feel like this, that I need to wrap the value in foreign somehow. Okay, maybe if I search for this, can find something about this. Purescript, JavaScript, show foreign whatever. All right, that's quite something in the US, huh? But you said you were in Texas. I kind of deducted that you were probably in Austin. Am I right? FFI. Ah, you're not American. Oh, I thought you were in Texas. Oh, North Texas, huh? So you didn't grow up in North Texas? Using non-modules. That. I think I probably need to wrap this and say like dict. Are you kidding me? So you are, you know, in Japanese, there's a name for this, right? It's a hikikomori. And sometimes I'm thinking that I'm borderline there, but no, I have actually have been taking walks and so on. You really haven't taken a walk or anything? Yeah, I imagine you do know it. Wow, amazing. Well, nice to meet you. You're the first time I met hikikomori. So, foreign one. Data show dik now. Huh. This is just pure, dict pure. Yeah, I mean, it does dict show of foreign blah. That's the implementation. You do? I'm so sorry. I really didn't mean to say that. Right. Did you move recently? I mean, it can be. Yeah, I'm still sorry if you felt that I was somewhat disrespecting. I don't, because yeah, you know, I actually also, you know, changed countries, and I know that it's really not easy to meet new people, and it took me a while. All right, yeah. Well, what did I want to say? Yeah, I mean, also worst possible time to move somewhere, right? It's such a bummer. Yeah. Yeah, but you know, sometimes even jokes can be offensive without meaning them to be, and then it's nice to say sorry. Yeah, yeah. It's okay. No worries. And thanks for sharing. Appreciate it. Oh, holy moly, that's so funny. My yeah. Yeah. Well, and I meant it in the way that, you know, well, that, you know, maybe it can be seen as derogatory, but it's, you know, just a label, right? It's just a way to say, oh, there's tons of other people that actually do the same thing. So it was that's how I intended the comment, as opposed to say, you know, oh, you're one of those. No, sometimes when I haven't gone out for, you know, it happens quite, especially during the lockdown. It happened quite often that I wouldn't get out for like several weeks, and then I'd think, huh, I'm totally hikikomori as well. But obviously, a few weeks is not enough. But I did mean it with all of that background that, you know, I can relate to the feeling of not, you know, particularly wanting to go out, and especially these days with you know, well, especially with what you have, like this beast of a machine that you've made for yourself, then that's even less reasons to go out, right? Yeah, and honesty is good. At least to oneself. That's the most important. And then brutal, I would maybe I would, you know, I think I would have agreed with you at some other time, but these days I feel like, you know, I get better things done when I'm more gentle. That's cool. That's cool. Well, you know, I feel like that's what we've been doing. I really appreciate that you've been a follower, subscriber of the first hour, and definitely won't forget that. I appreciate that you've been helping out and showing up. And yeah, I mean, these days it makes sense. You know, we create connections over streams and over virtual mediums, and that's all good. It's in fact it's quite valuable. I certainly think so. So you know that this strange thing that happened right there is that I made this really weird search, like the type of search that I probably would, you know, I mean, it's not that weird, but and there's only 7 results, and the last results, that's my my personal GitLab instance. So that's a funny one. I'm like, you know, I'm finding myself for a project that I did maybe 5 years ago or something. So I seem to be finding myself 5 years afterwards, and not helping myself out much, by the way, because this is just raw code. yeah, I get Googled for these super cryptic search keywords. Yes, that's it. That's the beginning. Oh boy. Yeah. So are you still in uni, or are you done with uni? No, you're back to uni, of course. You said so the other time. And so is uni in your area on lockdown then? You take only online courses and whatnot? So, blah. Ha. Well, and then I will quote you. Yeah. I will point them to Chronofold in Purescript 14 at timestamp 10330. And I will say, yeah, one hack said it. So I think I don't know how to do this thing that I'm trying to do. I mean, it is a little bit of a detail. I think I should be able to move a little bit forward without doing that. In fact, there's something I haven't even thought about, which is a very natural thing, which is to export buffer and project from buffer, and then to show to console log project instead of log show. That should actually work much better. Yeah, but you've been a constructive critic. You've been giving me advice, and it's much appreciated. Okay, let's reload the extension. See if we get something. Well, in fact, we should not get anything because we're now projecting the empty Chronofold. So that shouldn't be really doing much. Oh, but it failed to import. So let's see. Oh, right. Of course, because now we have some garbage in our index, which we can clean up and then reload. That's cool. That's cool. But you know, I feel like actually, you know, the GPU stuff that I'm doing, it's a little bit to replace like these screens, because I got these quite nice video from vidroll or something. I do credit them in the description. But yeah, I kind of want to do something in that spirit, but with a GPU-based Haskell simulation. So this way I have a little bit of art, and I'm actually interested in building on top of that, like 3D visualization and apps that use GPU and 3D rendering. So yeah. So I'm not really an artist, but I'm hoping to, get a little bit of some of that creation to be visible on screen as well. And I've done a bit of design, to be fair. Oh, yeah, right. Right, yeah, I think like for things like, what do you call it? Like emotes and whatnot, maybe at some point. Right, yeah. Well, mainstream, that's a big goal. But yeah, sometimes it does help sometimes to have things that people are more familiar with. It's true. Okay, so let's try to take this, put it in the activation, in the body of the activate function, and then let's try and see what the event we're getting looks like. I mean, I think we can check out, is a TypeScript set type for that? Not really. But let's reload, and because we want to intercept all keystrokes and then specifically backspace as well, although maybe backspace doesn't even need to be managed differently. I'm not even sure at this point. Let's see, do we have on did right, that's the on did document change text, or so not here then. Right. Yeah, definitely. It's yeah, something to think about for sure. Only change text document is what I'm looking for, and that's it. And we're supposed to get a text document change event. Yeah, and with graphics, it's tricky, and plus even for stream things in general, right? It is a fairly new practice after all. So a change event should have content changes, which are an array of content changes. Let's see if that shows up. Objects. Indeed, we have content changes, and in here we have an array. Hey, we have exactly what we want. We also have a range. The problem is that it looks like it's maybe a little bit slow, but it could be because we're doing it in the development environment. But we have our text, so we can pass that to an op. So how do we get into this? We say something like event.content changes, and then we're going to need to, well, we're going to need to map that. That's an array, so that's all good. We can map it. How do we map in JavaScript? I think we do .map, because it's an array and it has map on its prototype, I think, yeah. And now we will do what? Well, oh, right. Well, we'll take what? We'll take an object that has a range and a text. And for now, we'll only care about the text. So we'll do take the text and return the text. And I don't know why I'm putting this into an event. And so that should give me an array of text. Sounds good. Okay, yeah, need to close that parenthesis. And then we can take a look at the array of text, see whether we made any mistake at this point. And then we'll want to continue appending ops to it. Hey, welcome back. Yep, we're getting an array of, we're getting the expected array. And it only has 1 characters, but I suppose if I do like a paste, for instance, of 3 A's, then that gives me 3 A's. Yep, and so we need to, at this point, we need to iterate per character. And so that means that we, well, we need to concatenate, we need to flatten the arrays. And considering that strings is an array of strings. So for now, at this point, let's not be too fancy. We'll say we'll only take the first for now. I'm gonna put to do deal with multiple content changes, or maybe batched content changes. Yeah. So now content array will be A, and then we can map over that. And except we don't map, we sort of fold because we need to pass the empty log each time. So we'll do this manually for now, but usually we'll want, I mean, I don't even know if we had an API with a state monad, whether we'd be able to deal with it that well. I think we would actually, but then it means the state would live in Purescript, so to speak. Well, let's try it like this. So how do we, in JavaScript, how do you map over a string? Is there a dot map? Or there must be a two array method on strings. Is that what you're saying? No. String. No, I want the reverse. Dot map on a string? You can do that? Well, in that case. Is that true? Yeah. Okay. But mapping is not going to cut it. Yeah, we need to fold. How can I fold on a string? Yeah, no, we don't. So we do want to do it naively for now. Oh, right. Except that you do the tail recursive thing, and so that's why it's not stack safe. Yeah, yeah. So we don't really want to do it that way. So that kind of means we want to do it. I guess like kind of. Oh, I haven't had a break in a while. Yeah, but I'll take a 2 or 3 minute break now, and I'll be right back. Thanks for the reminder. All right, and I'm back. So, right, we wanted to do some folding over, I think we can just use for each. I think that's probably the JavaScript way to do this. And then, yeah, except for each. And then where do we get past? Wow, I'm kind of blanking out on my JavaScript. Huh? Haven't done some for a while. Value and index, yeah. And the array get passed. Right, and yeah, of course. And then we need something that we mutate, and that's going to be our log. So we'll do a let's call it log alpha, and we'll initialize it with alpha log root, and we'll say that we'll take a right. This is a char really, and we want to convert it to a code page. I can actually append the string, can't I? With I have a build snock string ops. I can take a log and a string, but I would need to convert. I would need to convert to string, but that's probably possible. And that gives an array of ops, and then we apply that. That seems to be the way to go, and so in which case that's kind of better, because then I don't even need to I can actually pass the string, and so in fact I can remove that to do. All right, like str. And then we do build snock string ops, which we need to import from core, and we pass it the log and the string that returns some ops, which we can say are immutable. We actually don't really need an intermediary variable here, but let's put one for readability. Doesn't really matter at this point. So that's an array of ops, and then we pass that to append ops. And so we say we mutate log to be append ops of log and ops. And then every time we'll console log the projection of log. And let's restart that. Okay. And A. Nothing happens. Not even showing me what the event is. Apparently not. Yeah, life is good, you know. Life is good. It's good to be back at work. I didn't have. Yeah, I've been not working for like 9 months or something like that. So it's good because it's definitely stimulating. Plus, I'm lucky that it's in the programming language that I like. So yeah, so I'm really happy about that. And really, really smart colleagues, and I'm happy with how my year is starting with, my routine is also pretty healthy, and so that's quite nice. And I'm happy about this streaming thing. I like the fact that I'm keeping up with it. In fact, like you said, the consistency. I know that it's quite nice to be consistent. Just from a to be honest, from a mental health perspective, I just feel that it's a healthy thing. Specialize. Sorry, what do you mean? Executing extensions, and oh, something happens. Get an object. Well, yes, that and systems, so operations, basically all of the servers, and so some of it relates to architecture, everything related to CI, continuous integration, like building the code and shipping it to servers. Okay. So let's see whether we get anything here. Maybe I'm already not getting this correctly. Oh, right. Yeah, of course, I call log alpha instead of log, so that's going to be a problem for sure. So let's restart. Yeah, I can't really give you any advice on that because that's pretty much what I used to do as well. The hardest is to start, right? Okay, so I get this, but apparently I get lost here. Well, RTX maybe not, but str I suppose. Do I need? I mean, I don't need to return explicitly, do I? It's just a for each. Oh, am I missing something here? Oh no, I do need to return something. Or do I? No, I don't. Yeah, I just need to mutate and basta. So maybe project is not up to the task, and I just need to log alpha for start. And maybe I'll take a look at ops as well, because while we are at it, why not? Yeah, that's a really smart That's a really smart thing. You know, one of the things that I got better and better with age is focus. And yeah, as you can see by my lack of taking breaks, I'm now pretty good at staying on track with things. Although, you know, I do mention in my intro that I like to take tangents, and that's true, but I do take them with a certain focus. I do pursue those tangents pretty hard. Let me see. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. That's I agree with that. Accepting, taking responsibility for the consequences of your action, and trying to make sure that you have immediate consequences that you can feel, and that's indeed smart. It's a way to train yourself to do the right thing. I see what you're doing. Okay, so the problem is that build snock string ops ends up in a void, such that it doesn't even return. So that's something interesting. We don't even show ops here, right? So I get the feeling that some stuff just gets a bit swallowed. And I'm wondering whether there's a way to show like some kind of inspector in here. I mean, this is an electron, right? So I should be able to see yeah, developer inspect. I want to inspect things. Because I bet you they monkey patch console log. Yeah. Plus, yeah, we're basically, you know, trained in the wrong way by a lot of our electronic devices, and the app developers who are, you know, hijacking our brain chemistry to make us addicted to cell advertising. So that's to take into account. So yeah, I've heard said that yeah, the ability to, you know, to focus on delayed gratification is one of the essential parts of human experience. One of the things that differentiates us from our animal brethren. That's very good. Yeah, I'm also spending very little time on social media. Pretty much, I mean, 0 on Facebook, and yeah, just a tiny bit on Twitter, because there are some of developers and, you know, masters in this Haskell ecosystem that I do want to follow, and also the math folks that I haven't talked about too much on stream yet, but they are the masters. Okay, so build snock string ops is simply an empty something that swallows my code. So that's bad news. So we don't even know whether it returns anything. It should be pure, so it should return something, but it doesn't. So let's go check out, let's go and do some looking inside the generated code, and put some stuff in there to see what's going on, why it's getting swallowed. and that will be in the build snug string up, that will be in index. Hold on 1 second. Build snug string ops, that's the one. And so yes, just log the things, please. Tell me what L is, and then tell me what S is, and then why don't you also tell me what chars is? All right, let's rebuild. Haha, right. Yeah, I mean, you remember when I was doing this first draft of talking about type level stuff? Like, when you continue going up, remember I was saying like terms are sort of like what's below, and then types are living on top of them, because they represent the set of the things that we talk about when we write our functions usually. Like they're a level higher. If you continue going higher up, then you find math. So it's an interesting thing. Yeah, that totally blew my mind when I found that out. Like, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, so I think we're definitely not getting all of the logging that we would want here. There's definitely logging that is swallowed, and probably including some errors that we're not seeing, in fact. So that is going to be tricky to troubleshoot. That's going to be quite tricky to troubleshoot. Okay, one thing I could do just to see whether that's the problem or not. I'm passing the log. Stop strings. Well, you know that the GPU stuff we're doing on Haskell, that's a lot of linear algebra in the back of it at some point when you look at the equations. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, there's a lot depends on the quality of your teachers, right? If they make things interesting or not. But it's probably true also that there's a number of set things that you need to, that is useful to know. And I mean, I could tell you sort of, I could do a little bit of a search at some point, because some of the folks that I follow that talk about the type of math that are behind the type of programming languages that I'm interested about, some of them, sometimes they have stuff where they talk about more general topics of math. So, and they're usually, good communicators. So, so it could be something worth checking out. Yeah, let me know again when you start, for instance, and like some of the stuff that start making you unhappy. Sounds good. Okay, so yeah, I suppose one of the things I could try is to do all of this with my with the inside this index thing, like I was starting to do, because if I with this I will get the errors. Yeah, that's I think is the way to go. So in that case, let me try and make this like slightly easier for me by doing what? By doing by doing some intermediary variables, I suppose. So const core equal and blah and equal core and const buffer equal and well, type we're not going to be able to do, so we'll do tips and then we do buffer, and so that will be okay for our exports. Sure, we weren't able to figure that out, but that's all good. We might be able to figure it out now. We'll just do const root blah equal core and const what that project equals buffer and const replica show logs equal tips. Okay, and sure, why not? Semicolons. And yeah, so, and then we could, I guess, pick up some of the stuff from here, like do this, for instance, and then just launch it. We get a file root, and so we don't even get a projection out of this. No, but that makes sense. We're not supposed to, so we're good. And then we'll fake some inputs, right? So we'll pretend we have some event. In fact, you know what? We could put this into some kind of callback function and say, you're going to get an event. And all of these things will happen. And then we'll call our callback function with, let's say, A. And then what? Give that a shot. Oh, well, no. We, of course, need to put this into some kind of object. So with content changes dot text. Yeah, that's not how it works, but that's the spirit. What am I doing? Yes, yes, and content changes is an array, so like this. That's our mock object, right? Am I missing? Yeah, I'm missing this. Okay. Yep, that's right. Our log is not yeah, exactly. Log is not defined. What? I thought I changed that. Oh boy. So it does absolutely swallow our errors, and that's why we're getting that's why we have problems. And but we have something that looks like a chronolog here, and we are in fact getting our pendops is not defined. That's right. I also don't import a pendops. Yeah, so damn, that's going to be hard to debug. I suppose I can, it's just a prototype, I can do it like this. So we found 2 errors, and let's hope that those are the only 2. Append ops, it's not it, append ops, and the other is log alpha, right here. And let's see if we got more. We don't look like we have more. I mean, at least if we do one append. So let's reload. And A. we get log alpha, AB. We only get B. I was kind of hoping we'd get ABC here, but things are a tiny bit confusing by then. So let's calm down on the old logging, at least up to here, and then let's also remove all of this fancy logging we did there, and let's restart. And I'm already 15 minutes over time, but it'd be nice to see a chronofold that has things that look like they're pending. So let's just continue just a tiny bit more. AB. So the log alpha, it does have two things in it, and oh, hold on. Yeah, it has the root and the, okay, so there's something we're not doing properly. Oh yeah, of course. Oh boy. Here. I was resetting log alpha to alpha log root at every turn. Aha. A, B, A, B. Oh yeah. And let's clear this guy. What's clear? No. Oh, we have a console here. Clear console right there. And A, B, C. Text. And backspace, that doesn't work yet. So that's the next thing we'll do. Excellent. Hey, welcome back, one. So check this out. We've got, I'll restart and I'll show you. And the extension should load. Okay, VS Code chronofold is now active. I'll clear the log, and if I say, "Hey one," well, so there's some problem with the backspace, but that's pretty cool. So that's stuff that goes inside our chronofold from VS Code. So we're definitely progressing, and what I put into our more detailed log is that next time we shall, so each keystroke does become an op, and it is appended to the local log, so we can check those two things. But now next we need to also deal with backspace, and that's pretty cool. Yay. Little by little, you know, it's also, it's not so trivial, you know, to break down things in like small chunks like this. So I'm really trying to make sure that I get small achievable bits for each action, so that I can check things, right? Because otherwise I never check things, and then that's really demoralizing, right? So so dealing with the backspace, that sounds like that's pretty easy. And then, you know, dealing with all of the, like, the networking things, that's going to be a whole other question. But I'm pretty sure we'll get started on this at the next stream, so that's going to be pretty cool, because then we'll start to maybe communicate with the browser. And yeah, also remember that this stuff I've played with last year quite a bit. So yeah, so I'll be I'm hopefully equipped to go fast. Absolutely, it is. Yeah, that's in fact, I'll leave you with that, because one of my, like, some of my masters, that I haven't met, but they're masters in they're masters because of what they did online, the YouTube videos and their publications and whatnot. One of them is Bartosz Milisky, and the other is Edward Kmet. And those are the two people that I would add to my list, to my channel, to my list in YouTube. And yeah, I mean, this stuff is pretty hard, and this is a book that Bartosz wrote, and it's part of the math that I'm talking to you about earlier. That is the math that is behind the types. And he tries to make things simple and accessible by drawing categories in little piggies. But even mathematicians think that category theory is pretty abstract, because in fact, category theory is like something that can be used to be a foundation of mathematics. So basically, math that can explain the rest of the math. So it's pretty powerful as well as abstract, and sometimes it's called abstract nonsense. But the essence of category theory is composition, or a category is the essence of composition. And what you just said, breaking things down, that's exactly composition. What I'm doing here is that I'm decomposing this into this, right? And then I'm decomposing my whole log into smaller logs, and then each line corresponds to me, doing some work, and that is decomposition. And Bartosz has this really good talk on YouTube. I haven't watched it in a while, but I think it was his keynote. Oh no, it was his sending off address. Yeah, one of his points about this is that he says that's basically the essence of even human understanding. Like it goes further. Okay, I'll leave you with a bit more of that story because it's quite fascinating. There's this guy. Okay, let me bring this up. Bartosz Miluski. Future of programming. Maybe no, it's not this. It might be truth about types. It's the same conference where Philip Wadler spoke, and Philip Wadler is another important name to have in this story. Right, that's it. Yeah, Code Mesh. So I mean, he does the keynote fairly often. But yeah, this stuff is pretty abstract. It's about how all of these things are related, like logic and lambda calculus and programming. All of this is totally will do that. I'll put it in the Discord. And so just to give you a little sort of basic intro, and I need to find the proper links, but the idea is that this guy Philip Wadler says in these conferences that it's so like the way in which all of these different like huge fields of human activity, like logic and math and computer science, like you end up seeing exactly the same patterns, like really also like provably you realize like several researchers discover the thing, and then you like look at the other thing and you're like, wow, that's actually exactly the same thing that you discovered, even though you're using a different language to talk about it. And Philip Wadler says it means that it's in the universe, that it means that we're discovering this deep mathematics, that they exist, deep inside the universe, and we're just through the power of our minds and our capacity to to learn and to understand things, we extract them from the universe. But so to give an example for that, he says that if we were to write this mathematics that we know on top of a exactly, like he says, imagine if we were to write what we know about this math into some metal plate and send it in space, and that some extraterrestrial intelligence would find that plate and read it, then he's saying they would also see exactly they will be able to interpret it, because they would probably also discover exactly the same math, because they're in the universe, they're inherently in the universe. But then this guy, Bartosz Milewski, he's like, well, I don't think he's right. He says, I'm not... he actually tells the story also in a podcast. Let me... I have the name of this podcast on my phone because I listened to it. It's a really good podcast. Let's see. Co-recursive, yeah. So that's probably the best introduction, in fact, to Bartosz. This one. He says, well, actually Philip Wadler is kind of, he's like the other mathematicians. He says, no, he's not right, because, I know there's a twist in the story. That's why I like this story. He says, no, he's mostly like he's like the other mathematicians, or it's fairly common things also among philosophers. He's a Platonist. He thinks there's a world of ideas, or something like an ideal that lives on top, outside the world, or somehow on top of the world, and that is, a pure thing that exists inside the universe and that everybody can discover. But he thinks, no, I think I'm not. I don't think he's right, because, in fact, the reason that Bartosz gives is that if we look deeply into the physical world, then sometimes, in fact, things don't behave the way that we expect to. And so he says the better explanation is to say that these patterns that we discover, they are in our mind. They are the essence of the human mind. And so when we go deeply into trying to understand, the universe and physics, we might think that what we see is actually a product of the universe. But in fact, it's the product of the mind that, interrogates the universe. And the concept of our mind is exactly that. It is to break things down in smaller chunks and then recompose them so that we understand the whole. And that's really what the essence of programming is, and that's really what the essence of category theory is. And then at some point you can understand how types, factor into that. And then all of these abstractions, like there's a lot of like scary names here that are very much used in functional programming, like things like functors or monoids or monads or adjunctions. All of these things are pretty advanced mathematical concepts that come from category theory. And at some point, when you start doing Haskell and Purescript and whatnot, they start popping up, and you start to understand that these are actually like really advanced thinking tools. They're like, they're the power of these discoveries is that they allow you to think about smarter ways to think about how small things assemble into bigger things, and all the ways in which they can do so. And so you become better at thinking about programs, but problems in general. Maybe better at thinking if you add these tools to your arsenal. So highly recommend it. I'm happy you think it's cool. Yeah, totally. And this thing is actually pretty much not taught in the majority of computer science schools, but I think this is the best introduction here. I'll actually put this in the chat now, just so that it's also there. to see for YouTubers, but I'll put the link, also all the links in the description, as I usually do, and actually I'll do this even right now. And start with the podcast, because that's really good. The interviewer is great, and there's other podcasts there that are really awesome. Like one I really liked also is with one of the founders of Unix from Bell Labs, like one of the original hackers that built those systems, and like it's just an awesome travel in time. I'll probably put links here now. I think that's the appropriate way to do. All right, so with that, I'm going to sign off. Juan, thanks a lot for being here again, and if you're watching this on YouTube, thanks for watching. Check out my Twitch stream and my other series on YouTube, and I will see you later.